Right now at 5, a new blow to dairy farmers here that's costing some thousands. Plus, sentencing day for a coach accused of recording students in his bathroom.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Emily is off tonight. It is sentencing day for a former Assumption Catholic School coach accused of secretly recording students in his bathroom. 34-year-old Seth Mielke will serve 1 year in the Wood County Jail. The judge has also imposed 5 years probation. He is forbidden to have contact with any of the victims or their families. Mielke will also have to register as a sex offender for the next 15 years. In Crawford County, sheriffs arrested 2 people allegedly tied to a cabin robbery. They are 44-year-old Charles Kirch and 42-year-old Angela Ziegler. The crime happened in the township of Seneca. The pair are accused of stealing $30,000 in items, including firearms, tools, and electronics. Breaking news out of the White House. President Donald Trump says 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico begin at midnight. They were delayed last month for 30 days. U.S. stocks slid after the news broke. The Dow tumbling about 800 points. S&P 500 fell 2.1%.
So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs.
And Trump's reciprocal tariffs start April 2nd. That means if a country charges the U.S. a tariff, the U.S. will charge that country one as well. A pause on USDA funding is impacting the dairy sector's innovative program. So how will this impact local businesses? Our own Grace Monk has the answer.
Recipients of funding from the Dairy Business Initiative were recently told that that money is on pause. Now businesses like Birch Point here in Westby have to cover the cost themselves. DBI offers grants to businesses to create specialty dairy products. Recipients can use the money for development, production, marketing, and distribution. Birch Point distillery owners say they spent $80,000 on equipment. They now have to find a way to earn that money back.
I was naive in thinking that they would put the grants, the future grants, on hold. And they actually did. The first step was there was another grant cycle that was going to occur this spring. But then to get that phone call that said, no, we're not paying you back for the money that you already possibly have spent, that was just gut-wrenching.
According to the Wisconsin Cheesemakers Association, the pause affects 420 businesses nationwide. Scott and Stacy say they're currently figuring out how they're going to cover these costs and what's next for the distillery. In Westby, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
President Trump will deliver his address to Congress tomorrow. Many will be listening for any mention of Medicaid and Medicare cuts. Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin was on MSNBC today and weighed in.
Will devastate critical access hospitals in rural areas. Nursing homes will have to close. Remember that 8 million seniors depend on Medicaid, especially when they need skilled nursing care.
Baldwin says she plans to send a powerful message at tomorrow's presidential address. She'll bring a woman with breast cancer who is, quote, terrified of possible Medicaid cuts under President Trump's proposed budget. Tim Walz may run for president in 2028. Walz hinting about a run on the podcast The New Yorker Radio Hour. Walz said, quote, if I think I could offer something, I would certainly consider that. In recent weeks, the Minnesota governor has hit out at President Trump in a series of posts on X. Turning to the weather, and we are not done with winter just yet. Rain, snow, and wind going to be headed our way. Greg has your first forecast. Greg.
Yeah, as March, we can get some really blockbuster type winter storms. And in fact, we're going to see one here, given that it's going to be a very wet system. And we could use the rainfall and the snow actually with the drier conditions this winter. So this definitely is helpful, but we're going to see snow. And really it becomes late tomorrow, rain turning to snow Tuesday night into Wednesday, depending on location. And the wind will also be a factor as a very strong low sets up near Chicago. So a pretty good setup to see this. Though thankfully, we're not seeing this in the middle of December because we'd see a lot more snow. But this right now is a snow amounts, and this is really heavy, wet snow transitioning to a little bit more fluff, but still, it's going to be wet. And right now, the track is giving it a band further northwest of across. That's where you're going to see it pick up. And this really goes into probably Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Rainfall amounts, though, this does include a little bit of snow because it goes through Wednesday at 6 a.m. There could see a rainfall amounts over an inch, so we could see ponding of water in certain areas because the frost depth is still fairly deep. Maybe some slight rises, smaller creeks and rivers as they begin to break up a little bit more. But it's going to be significant rainfall, too. For this evening, we're not seeing much in that, just a little bit of light rain in Ladysmith. Otherwise, very pleasant, very mild conditions, and it should remain dry for the most part this evening. We'll see more showers, just scattered showers coming back in overnight, and a very mild night as you wake up. You'll be in the mid-40s, even upper 40s with a little bit of light rain. Now Tuesday, off and on showers, but the real action comes in later in the day, and we'll break down the timing of the rain and when it goes rain to snow and then ends later in the broadcast.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Well, a busy day for the City Planning Commission. They took the first step to take the former fire station on Monitor Street off the surplus list. Right now, the fire department is using it as storage, and it wants to keep using it until renovations on Station 3 are done. The committee also putting on hold a possible new development. 360 Real Estate wants to build a new apartment complex on West Avenue in La Crosse. It would be called Badger West Residences and have up to 50 units. Bakeries can't beat egg prices, so your cakes are starting to cost more. And that's just the beginning. News 8 Now's Allison Ferget has the story.
With many spring holidays just around the corner, it's a busy time for local bakeries, but they're feeling the pinch from high ingredient prices.
We're weathering the storm.
Bob Anderson, Linda's Bakery's general manager, says 1 pound of eggs is now 5 times more expensive than it was a year ago. In February 2024, eggs cost $1.10 per pound. In February 2025, $5.89 per pound.
From what I'm hearing, we're looking at the egg prices being inflated for 6 months to a year or more, so we're preparing for that.
Anderson says they've looked into egg alternatives, but ultimately decided to stick with the classic.
We want to keep our formulas the same, to keep the quality the same for our customers.
And it's not just egg prices leaving a bad taste in their mouths.
I've seen up to 50% price increase on cocoa, chocolate chips, and chocolate coverings.
As a result of these new costs, Linda's has raised cake prices by an average of 5%.
We try to do the best we can to keep a reasonable price for the customers while still being able to stay in business.
Other items like donuts will also see a price hike soon.
The treats are fantastic.
Some Linda's customers have noticed the new prices, but they aren't salty over the change.
No.
I'm a very positive thinker. I'm thinking it's going to go not back to where it was, but usually your income goes up.
Inflation rolls on, doesn't it?
And they won't let rising prices get in the way of their cravings.
And when you only live a couple miles away, it's
good and convenient. What more can we say?
Linda's also serves coffee, and they say their distributors are warning that coffee prices could soon increase. Reporting in West Salem, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now.
Western Technical College is waiving application fees this month. The school dropping its standard $30 fee throughout March as part of a special application drive.
Always come in if you're having questions and even you're not sure that you want to apply. You do not have to have any affiliation. You can walk through our doors and our admissions coaches will chat with you about if there's something at Western or what your next steps might be in life.
Western's also hosting several events to showcase different programs. The first is next Monday from 4 to 6 at Western's Toma location. Instructors will be on hand to discuss career options and admission requirements. The La Crosse Area Chamber of Commerce is celebrating local achievements. The annual meeting, sponsored by News 8 Now, honors community members' dedication to the area. Paul Miller will receive the Impact Award for his leadership in building the new Mayo Clinic extension. Deb Stangel will be honored as Volunteer of the Year.
If I can help other people, then it's more or as meaningful to me as a successful business.
My name is on the award, but to me it represents so many other people to whom I'm very grateful for having the opportunity to work and live in La Crosse.
That one's set to tip off in just about 21 minutes at the La Crosse Center. Coming up, a new setback for the Pope. What happened earlier today and updates on the Pope's health, plus how he's feeling after being in the hospital for more than 2 weeks. Plus, fire burning wild in the Carolinas, the latest on the fight to contain them.
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you feel colder drafts here, you have gaps, worn seals, or even cracks here, you need a trusted window company to replace the window and help you save money on your energy bill. At Clear Choice, we know that your home is your biggest investment, and in a year like this, every dollar needs to be spent wisely. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more.
It's Native. 24-hour moisturizing body wash that locks in 4 times the moisturizers of your old body wash.
Wow, and about half the ingredients.
Heavenly. Clean, moisturizing body wash isn't a myth, it's Native.
What's on your mind, Dion?
A sensitive skin. Now how Old Spice Total Body isn't on it.
Gabby, is there anything you want to share?
Not this Old Spice deodorant. It's 24/7 freshness. It can go everywhere.
Everywhere.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up by the fire or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
A cop. Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
A health setback for Pope Francis. The Vatican says he suffered, quote, 2 episodes of acute respiratory failure. The 88-year-old is using an oxygen mask to help with his breathing and remains alert. The Pope has been hospitalized for 17 days. It is now the longest absence of his 12-year papacy. Happening now, a state of emergency in South Carolina, while in North Carolina, over 163 fires are burning, with more than 5,400 acres burned. Hundreds of first responders are fighting the flames from the ground and air. The Red Cross is on the scene, helping those displaced.
It's been surreal. I mean, they keep popping up, these little things do, and you don't know if they're going to come and get to your house or the next neighbor's house.
And in Georgia, 137 wildfires broke out over the weekend. 2,300 acres were lost. That's the size of nearly 2,000 football fields. If you're in the market for a new car, Consumer Reports is offering its picks for the most reliable rides. CBS's Michael George has more.
Consumer Reports puts cars through the paces for its annual list of top picks. Vehicles are tested for performance and also judged on reliability and consumer satisfaction.
And then finally, safety. All of the vehicles on this list have standard automatic emergency braking.
Alex Nizick from Consumer Reports says plenty of SUVs made the grade this year, including the Subaru Forester, which tops the list for compact SUVs. It received a score of 93 out of 100, one of the highest for any vehicle. And it's also the most reliable.
The Subaru Forester, it's a repeat favorite of ours. It gets 29 miles per gallon combined, so it's just a really, really well-rounded, practical, and kind of easy to live with vehicle.
For drivers looking for something on the high end, the BMW X5 takes the top spot among luxury vehicles and earns an overall score of 87.
Toyota has 3 vehicles on this year's list. The plug-in hybrid version of the RAV4 is #1 in the fuel-efficient category. The hybrid Highlander gets top marks among mid-sized SUVs, and the Camry is the best mid-sized car.
And I think what's interesting about it now is it's actually hybrid only. Other than the fact that it gets 48 miles per gallon combined, you might actually not know that it's a hybrid. It works so seamlessly and it works so well.
For those who don't want to use gas at all, the Tesla Model Y earns the top spot among electric vehicles.
Tesla's been building electric vehicles for a long time. They have the charging infrastructure. Beyond that, it's a pretty nice driving vehicle. It's quick, it's quiet, handles really well.
Whether you're shopping for electric, a hybrid engine, or traditional gas power, Consumer Reports is looking to help take the guesswork out of your next new vehicle purchase. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
We'll have more news ahead, but first.
Unfortunately, yeah, we got a big spring storm. In fact, rain and snow, which we could use some moisture. We'll break down when it goes rain and when it turns to snow and what the impacts look like throughout this whole event. That coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store. The proof is in the truth. And the truth is that the Board Store does offer higher quality at lower prices, as has been the case for the last 35 years. The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show. Superior products, superior service at the lowest prices of the year. Bath or kitchen remodels, windows or doors, pergolas, patio covers, sunrooms, siding or gutters. Do it now. The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store.
Planning a home renovation? Save money and time by calling Habitat for Humanity's Reclaim Program. Habitat will remove your cabinets, flooring, windows, appliances, and more for free. Habitat sells reclaimed items at the Restore rather than sending it to the landfill. With Reclaim, you can save money, go green, and support Habitat. To schedule your free Reclaim service, go to habitatlacrosse.org/reclaim.
The Sparta Innovation STEM Academy, recognized as Wisconsin's #1 charter middle school, has open enrollment until March 31st for incoming 6th graders. Enroll now in meaningful applications of science, technology, engineering, and mathematical concepts. The Sparta Innovation STEM Academy, located in Meadowview Middle School, provides a teacher-led, inquiry, problem-based learning environment. Learn more at www.isasparta.com.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
I know Brad Schimmel. He has always focused on getting justice for victims of sexual assault. The Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, Brad cleared that backlog. It's a completely false attack on him. His opponents, I think, have to change the narrative to redirect the focus away when she routinely gives light sentences to child predators. That is not what we need on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we've got a classic March system, pretty strong one, but still we get a lot of these during March or even to April, and they bring a lot of rainfall, and it's beneficial because we've had a dry winter. And as we go into spring, typically fire season is kind of getting close to it. So this definitely will help, and we do need it. But it's going to be kind of a messy situation, especially Wednesday morning. Good news is March snow typically melts pretty fast. Tuesday evening commute, that looks wet, but the winds will still be light. So just wet conditions, not expecting wind. Wednesday morning, it's going to be a snow or mix or transitioning depending on location where you are. That'll definitely be windy, so that commute looks to be kind of messy. The noon hour will be probably snow and wind continuing. The good news is by Wednesday evening, the winds will be going on, the snow pretty much will be ending, and given that temperatures will be close to freezing or above, I think a lot of the main roads will probably be wet. Maybe side roads be slushy at this point. It's a heavy wet snow that will transition to more of a light snow. But for tonight, we're expecting not in the way much activity until later tonight. The thing that the temperatures are going to do is they're going to stay up. It's going to actually be very mild in the 40s. So you start seeing a little bit of shower activity as we get closer to midnight. A little bit of activity starts to develop after midnight. Just some light showers, not expected to be heavy amounts of rain. And you see the temperatures even in the middle of the night. We're still in the 40s. As we go through the morning commute, we'll see a little bit of an uptick probably in coverage going on. A few more showers will probably develop as we go throughout the morning. But overall, once we get past the morning commute, it's fairly dry for most of the day. As you see, here's a little bit of showers starting to develop just south of the area by noon. So until noon, dry, temperatures climbing up to near 50 with some cloud cover, but overall not too bad of a really Tuesday. It's towards the evening hours when we start seeing this really steady light to moderate rain begin to develop and pull north. So by the time we get to 3 or 4, probably that's where you're going to see it for La Crosse, and then a little bit later on, probably close to the evening commute, it'll spread all the way further north to Eau Claire up to Rusk County. That's why it looks to be a very wet commute. Winds will be remaining light, and the transition to snow really is not in play yet for most of the area. Later on, after about 9 or 10 is when this transition line starts to kind of sink south, and there's still a little bit of question how far south it goes and fast, but that'll come through at some point 10 or midnight for the areas to Eau Claire. For La Crosse and areas south, probably not closer to the morning commute that you'll start seeing that transition here. You can start seeing it come through there about 6 to 7 a.m. Then everywhere else south and east will transition quickly to snow. So that's why the morning commute could be really messy depending on where you are location-wise. The winds will be a factor here too. Rain amounts, not too much through tomorrow. Not expecting a lot until 4 p.m. You can see amounts overall tonight and to most of the day tomorrow, under about a quarter. Tomorrow evening, that's when you could really pick up a lot of rain. This is in about a 6-hour time frame. You could pick up maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. Snow-wise, not much going on really for tomorrow until 10 p.m. midnight. Most of that stays to the north and west. Mounts then going through the rest of the period. Really, that's when it picks up. By 6 a.m., you can see that band begin to develop. The rest of the day, that band expands. This is heavy, wet snow, at least initially. A lot of slush, but it does taper off as you go further east. So that's what we're looking for transition. The other note is the winds. As you know, winds 25 to 30 miles per hour Wednesday. So the winds will be whipping around, that snow, visibility will be low. That's why that commute in that time frame is probably the worst travel conditions we got around. Otherwise, quiet Thursday, more showers Friday, nothing like we've had for the system for tomorrow. And then for the weekend, as we turn the clocks forward.
Spring forward.
Yeah. Fairly quiet weekend. So that's good news.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thanks, Greg. A toddler calls 911 to help his sweet tooth. How the police department responded when we come back.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
The fact that Brad Schimmel supports the 1849 law terrifies me. When I was pregnant, I had complications, but because of the ban, doctors couldn't help me. Brad Schimmel has no idea what it's like to lay in a hospital bed, pregnant and dying. The 1849 law that Brad Schimmel supports almost killed me. Brad Schimmel is too extreme for the Supreme Court.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
Meeting you locally where you are online. Stay updated while you scroll. Follow us on Instagram at WKBT News 8. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Police in Oklahoma responded to an unusual 911 call recently. That call from a toddler requesting, quote, emergency donuts. Yes, the Moore Police Department shared audio of the call made by the youngster going viral on social media. And then the next day, the police department said they fulfilled little Bennett's request and had officers deliver a box of Dunkin' Donuts right to his home. Good for the kid, although, hey, don't be calling 911 like this around here. They got important work to do. We'll have another look at tonight's forecast right after this.
Park Bank is working in your best interest, and we have something interesting for you.
Savers, it's your turn. Let us pique your interest at Park Bank with 4.26% APY on one-year CDs.
Interested? Contact us at Park Bank. Member FDIC.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel 25% off. Save 30% on men's work and sport sweatshirts. These men's Wolverine Western boots, $59.99 while supplies last. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks when you spend $125 on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Attention business owners. Start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait. Our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Right now, get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $25 per line when you switch.
The fact that Brad Schimmel supports the 1849 law terrifies me. When I was pregnant, I had complications, but because of the ban, doctors couldn't help me. Brad Schimmel has no idea what it's like to lay in a hospital bed, pregnant and dying. The 1849 law that Brad Schimmel supports almost killed me. Brad Schimmel is too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Park Bank is working in your best interest, and we have something interesting for you.
Interest is growing in our rewards-based Kasasa checking account with 2.99 annual percentage yield.
Interested? Contact us at Park Bank. Member FDIC.
All right, the storm actually, it might be the strongest one we've seen all winter, at least with pressure-wise, but still, we're looking at the rain, the snow. Really, the problem's going to be Wednesday morning for roads. It's probably the worst with the snowfall, the winds, the visibility, and the road condition. There's your commutes. Tomorrow evening, wet, but light winds. It's really, oops, I kind of skipped over the other one. Wednesday morning, that's the one to watch out for. The good news is by Wednesday evening, snow is done, dry conditions. Thursday looks dry with some precipitation Friday, but the weekend, as we turn the clocks back forward, looks overall fairly quiet, and the 40s is kind of where we should be for this time of year. So definitely, we need the moisture, but if you got travel plans, definitely stay attention for Wednesday morning especially.
All right. Thanks for joining us at 5. Hope to see you back at 6.